Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The final battle as Raila's dramatic return from Dubai sends a shockwaves to government amid fear of new demonstrations. As far as we are concerned, Kenyans await Raila Odinga's arrival amid reports of renewed protest as it was announced. Raila Odinga's dramatic return from Dubai, it seems like sending a shockwave to the government of the day as concerned about resumption of massive protest hits fever pitch. Raila Odinga went for a trip abroad and will be back on Friday this week. But before his trip, I remember very well Raila Odinga held protest against government of William Ruto's to deliberate on the high cost of living and election transparency. He came out saying that despite Ruto's effort to lower the cost of maize flour, the government should lower it further or even introduce subsidies to cater for the burdened Kenyans. He also asked the government to open the electoral servers to set it clear on whether his votes were stolen or not. But as he plans to arrive at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Raila Odinga team have come out to mobilize hundreds of supporters to welcome him. When I heard these reports, I connected it with what happened in 2017 when again Raila Odinga, disagreeing with the government of the day of Uhuru Kenyatta, made him, when he was coming back in the country, at the same Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where the NASA coalition mobilized their supporters, hundreds of them, welcoming Raila Odinga, and this became noisy and messy as they tried to access the CBD. Some people were injured, some lost their lives. Nairobi CBD was disorganized, and this continued some days when it led to handshake between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. But at the same thing this is happening, the government is worried on what will happen next, despite even some people saying that there is no possibility of the government of the day panicking towards the arrival of Raila Amolo Odinga. But is there any possibility of a panic to the government towards the possibility of Raila Odinga creating a standstill during his arrival from Dubai? And because there is a high chance of resumption protest, which earlier deteriorated the country's revenue collection, William Ruto earlier asked Raila Odinga to stop demonstration and instead give a talk a chance. William Ruto also came out arguing that protests will not solve the economy challenges in the country, but again is going to create problem to our country. So this story where the team Azimio came out saying that they were going to resume demonstration date 2nd of May. Now they have come out to renew it. That's the leakage message that we are receiving. But even despite though we are not clear of, but is there any possibility of Raila Odinga creating a standstill in the country as he arrives in the country from Dubai. Because the same Raila Odinga also arrived coming from US 2017, the same Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where the NASA coalition came also mobilizing their supporters to welcome Raila Amolo Odinga. Is there any scenario, and at the same time, is there any possibility of police officers mobilized by the government barricading the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to distance away or distance these supporters from the Jomo Kenyatta National Airport? And if this is going to happen, will it be possibly for the supporters of Raila Odinga to escort him all the way from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the CBD as they demonstrate? Or is there any possibility of government again using an excessive police force to disperse the supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga? Those are the questions that we are asking. Because this comes also today, Jubilee Party, where the current Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni and so-called acting Secretary General Kanini Kega fought today because of the wrangles, who is taking over, who is leading our party. Another thing is, this comes after the bipartisan team suspending the talk, as in the Azimio team, they are accusing Kenya Kwanza not serious. Number two, involving Kainan, and also there is a person, Koising, who is a member of Parliament of Cook, possibly working with Kenya Kwanza, which we don't know, but this was a leakage from Azimio team. And again, they suspended it so that they can have a conclusion talk to ensure that the issue of Kainan and Koising is going to be addressed. But at the same time as this issue is going to be addressed, we are asking ourselves several issues and questions. Is there any possibility of William Ruto succeeding to handle Raila Odinga through this unfaithful bipartisan talk? Because I'm so doubting this kind of bipartisan talk will enable or create a peaceful environment to ensure that William Ruto and Raila Odinga is going to agree. And upon agreement is not any issue of handshake. It is an issue of addressing Kenyans' issues, the way Raila Odinga came out addressing them. And if truly they are going to reach a conclusion, is there any possibility of creating an idea or working formula outside the parliament, but through the law? And that is what we are looking about. But in any case, as we wait for Raila Odinga to come back in the country from Dubai the 28th on Friday, we are eagerly waiting whatever is going to happen, as the leaders of Azimio are keenly mobilizing the supporters to welcome Raila Amolo Odinga. At the same time, the news has arrived to William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, as they're also planning to barricade the way that is coming from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport all the way to CBD. And if they will succeed, is there any possibility of Raila Odinga again having a rally that day? And after that, what next for next week, starting Saturday, Sunday as you go? So we are just waiting, watching keenly and observing whatever is going to happen. But let us be keen on whatever Raila Odinga is planning, as the Kenya Kwanza is bragging they are now likely to overcome Raila Odinga. At the same time, Azimio is also bragging at the same time on how they are going to handle and mishandle Kenya Kwanza government. So it is upon our realization to observe, wait, and also just be calm and see whatever is going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, What are your thoughts? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much. Bye bye till we meet on another video.